Hey everybody, and welcome back to Lindsey's Little Library. Today is BookList Thursday. BookList Thursday is something I do with Sarah over at Sarah's Nightstand. We come to you every Thursday with some sort of book thoughts, recommendations, ideas, something bookish related. Today's topic is super fun, very unique, but we're going to talk about, or I'm going to give you 5 books that have really great first lines. Really great first lines. So I love it when a book catches me literally from the instant I start reading it. If you have a great line, I am hook, line, and sinker. So here are a few. A couple of them I've read, and a couple of them I haven't read, and one of them isn't even released yet. I know, kind of crazy. So let's get started with our read ones. First one I have is The Forgotten Garden by Kate Morton. This book centers around a girl who is abandoned on a ship that's headed for Australia in 1913. She arrives alone. She has nothing but a small suitcase. She's got nothing at all. So who takes care of her? The captain takes care of her? I don't know. She ends up kind of being adopted, and on her 21st birthday they tell her exactly what happened, and she sets off to figure out what her true identity is. Really, really great book. And the first line is, you ready for it? There's also a map in the book, so yeah, right? First line, London, 1913. It was dark where she was crouched, but the little girl did as she'd been told. So what this tells me right away is I'm sensing some fear, and I'm sensing that there's been given a direction for her to hide for some reason. Why is she hiding? She's been abandoned on the ship, so I know that from the synopsis. So was she put there and then left, or somebody on the ship telling her to hide? I don't know what it is, but right away I'm hooked. And then I'm going to go a little further and do the second line. So it says, it was dark where she was crouched, but the little girl did as she'd been told. The lady said to wait. It wasn't safe yet. They had to be as quiet as larder mice. It was a game, just like hide and seek. So lots of questions already in that first little few sentences. So already grabbed me. I loved this book. I gave it 5 stars. I know it's big. We're talking like, what, over 500 pages, but it goes really fast. And this is the book that got me obsessed with Kate Morton. My next one, probably not a surprise because it's Ariel Lawhon. I Was Anastasia by Ariel Lawhon. This follows dual time perspectives from, we've got 1918 and 1920, so they're fairly close, which could be a little confusing, but so much happens in that short period of time that you can follow along. But basically we're trying to figure out if this woman named Anna Anderson is truly Anastasia Romanoff, whom she says she is. So our first line starts out with fair warning, which, yeah, you caught me in 2 words, fair warning. If I tell you what happened that night, I will have to unwind my memory, all the twisted coils, and lay it in your palm. Right? It will be the gift and the curse I bestow upon you. What? So it already pulls me in. Side note, this author's note is probably one of the best author's notes I've ever read. This author's note is, I don't know, it's amazing. It's amazing all around. So pulls you right in, knowing that there's a lot of twists involved in this memory that she has, and you're on for a ride. That's what it's telling me. And both of these were 5-star books for me, so let's hope the next few are going to live up to that. Alright, so the next one I picked up is Something in the Water by Catherine Steadman. This is a fairly new book that I've picked up, and I seem to continue to be pulled towards it, or I keep picking it up, so I just need to read it sooner than later. It's a Reese Witherspoon book club. This is a psychological thriller following, I believe, newlyweds? Yeah, they're on their honeymoon. Aaron and Mark dream honeymoon in Bora Bora, like top of the line, wonderful thing. And they go scuba diving and find something in the water, right? So our first line, if I can get there, Saturday, October 1st, The Grave. All right. Have you ever wondered how long it takes to dig a grave? No, but I do now, right? So why are we talking about digging a grave already? So is this foreshadowing as far as what's going to happen? Who's going to die? What's going to happen? Why do we need to dig a grave? Is it a secret? Is it hiding? I don't know. Lots of questions in that first little itty bitty bit, and I just want to keep reading. I want to keep reading. It sounds awesome. So that's something in the water. I gotta add that to my list. The next one I have picked out is The Lifeboat by Charlotte Rogan. I've had this on my shelf for a while, and I honestly, when I was preparing for this video, took a little longer than normal, but luckily I finally have, and I'll show you guys, all of my books are home. They're all in these boxes. They're all back, out of storage. Oh, now I'm gonna be off. So as I've been unpacking them, I have been, you know, taking a look at each of them and seeing what the first line was. So this is one I happened to come across. Stormy. So this one follows Grace Winter. She's 22 and she just got married. She's both a newlywed and a widow, and she's on the trial for her life. So it's 1914. Her and her husband came across the Atlantic, I believe, on an ocean liner, and some sort of mysterious explosion happens. Her husband Henry puts her on a lifeboat that's overcrowded. Something has to happen in order for them all to survive. So there's a little bit of mystery in here, a little bit of suspense. And when we get to our first line, it says, it's our prologue, right? Today I shocked the lawyers, and it surprised me the effect I could have on them. So she obviously needs lawyers for something. So did she do something that's tied to the explosion? Did she do something that's tied to the lifeboat? Did this happen before she even got on it? What's the story, and why did it surprise your lawyers? I'm pulled in, I'm intrigued, and it doesn't seem like that long of a book. What are we at? 273 pages? And fairly big type? Yeah, I gotta read that one. Alright, so I picked a thriller, I picked historical, and then I picked up a YA. So this one is How to Hang a Witch by Adriana Mather. I remember I got this off Book Outlet, I'm pretty sure. I think so. And it says, what's this about? Salem, Massachusetts, in the site of the infamous witch trials and the new home of 16-year-old Samantha Mather. Recently transplanted from New York City, Sam is not exactly welcomed with open arms. She's a descendant of Cotton Mather, one of the men responsible for those trials, and almost immediately she becomes the enemy of a group of girls who call themselves the Descendants. And guess who their ancestors were? I'm assuming the witches. So, the first line in this one is, like most fast-talking, opinionated New Yorkers, I have an affinity for sarcasm. I am drawn to this for a different reason. I'm drawn to this because I am a fan of sarcasm, and I'm always in the mood for something that has some humor to it. So immediately I'm like, okay, how sarcastic are you going to be? And I need to read it to figure that out, and I would love it if I have some laughs in this book, right? And then it goes on. At 15, though, it's hard to convince anyone that sarcasm's a cultural thing and not a bad attitude. True. Especially when your stepmother can't drive, because she's also from New York, and spills your coffee with manacle brake pounding. So you've already proven you're funny. I'm in. I'm hooked. The fact that this is centered around witches, Salem, Massachusetts, I am so saving this book for October, because that's just the perfect time to read a witchy-ish book. I did that last year. What did I read? Can't think of it right now. It's got a blue cover with a Wicked Deep. I think that's it. Totally put me in the mood. I love it. So I need another witchy book. I'm going to keep this one out for October and read that for sure, because I'm already hooked. There's something about first lines in books that if it's good, I'm going to add that to my list. I'm adding it to my pile. And look what happened. I got 3 of them added today. Some honorable mentions. The one I was talking about that hasn't been released yet was actually just featured on bookishfirst.com, I think last week or the week before. Bookishfirst.com is a really awesome website if you're looking to get your hands on some ARCs Sometimes they're already released, but most of the time it's ARCs. So what it does is every week it gives there's a different book or 2 books that it features. You get to read the first, I don't know, 20 pages, sometimes more, of the book, and then leave your first impression of that book. And by leaving your first impression, you get put in a drawing to receive that book in order to finish it and then come back to the website to review it. So a couple weeks ago, Fountains of Silence by Ruta Sepetys was on Bookish First, and I opened it up because I love Ruta Sepetys, so of course I'm going to leave my first impression, hopefully win a copy of it. And the first line is, "They stand in line for blood." Yeah. I didn't have to read any more. Like, you've caught me in the first sentence and I want this book. So, interestingly enough, it's a historical fiction that centers around Madrid, Spain, shortly after World War II, I believe. So, really interested. I'm super excited, and I did not win it, so I'm bummed. But y'all know me. I love Ruta Sepetys. I will definitely be buying that book. I think it comes out October, maybe? But that was fantastic. Anyways, that's what I have for you guys today as far as really good first lines in books. If you have any books that you can think of that have really fantastic first lines, leave links below or talk to me in the comments below. I'd love to hear about them. Otherwise, hop over to Sarah's channel, see what she came up with today. I have an idea of what at least 1 or 2 of them might be. Otherwise, I'm excited to see what she has to say. And like, subscribe, all of that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.